The Summer of Data is part of the Data Science Institute, which is a new initiative at Stanford to weave data science throughout the fabric of the university. Data science happens in every single field and in every single pocket of the university.
The goal of the Summer of Data was to provide opportunities for students to learn how to use data to make an impact in the world, and in general to bring research into some sort of socially impactful area.
We've been focused on wildfires, which is an incredibly timely and very close to home issue for those of us in California, I think up and down the West Coast. And CAL FIRE, the State Fire Service, is responsible for really responding to these fires and for protecting 31 million acres across state land. But they face significant gaps in the tools and the information that's needed to really fight fires effectively and to really best protect the most at-risk communities. So our team has really been focused this summer on building a team to enable CAL FIRE to respond to wildfires more quickly, more efficiently, and more equitably.
It was so much fun to work together because we all really attack the problem with a different view and we really enhance our knowledge.
So they would first input a fire perimeter, then they press the assess risk button and the CNN model would predict the risk to that area. And the last piece is that it would return data around the community's social vulnerability. So that's the hope of the tool, is that all of this information and having it real time will really allow CAL FIRE to be even more effective than they already are in fighting wildfires and in protecting communities at risk.
CAFOs, these places where animals are fed in industrial agriculture, generate huge lagoons of manure that leak into waterways. The EPA doesn't have the ability to basically monitor them. And so with satellite imagery and neural nets, we were able to track their change over time. We partnered with the Stanford Regulation, Evaluation, and Governance Lab. Working with the Reg Lab was great. We had weekly meetings with them, a lot of support. It basically felt like they were bringing us onto the team. It turned out to be kind of exciting to track manure ultimately. Our ability to monitor and track geography via satellite is so advanced at this point. So that's what we were leveraging in this work. Ultimately, we'd like to see enforcement of CAFO permitting and regulation of indirect discharge into waterways. But that's not going to come overnight. In the meantime, RegLab is working with a ProPublica reporter, and we're hoping to get some of these results out as well.
Human trafficking is really a pervasive issue worldwide, and this is especially the case in Brazil, where there's almost 2 victims per 1,000 residents. So we were working on parts of an ensemble predictive model. So this was working with existing data collected by the Brazilian government on both firms and municipalities in Brazil. And we used this along with a list of dirty list firms, which were firms already known to be involved in human trafficking. Our second strand was working on building a new database based off of PDF forms from investigative reports that are created by the Brazilian prosecutors every time they investigate a firm that is thought to be involved in human trafficking. It was really good to have so many disciplines represented to ensure that any question we had could be answered, and it really allowed us to have a full, well-rounded understanding of the problem at hand so that we could work on really addressing it to its full extent.
Land issues are highly contentious in Kenya and have fueled recent conflict. That conversation of what does ethical distribution of land look like? What does a judicious use of land look like? Our project was tasked with working with a partner in Kenya called Code for Africa. We also partnered with the World Resources Institute. But our main task was to sift through publicly available government data sets called gazettes in order to identify land-related information. So we had a pipeline of a prototype. What would it look like to take a project from the public data sets, digitizing it, extracting the entities, and finally mapping the network and identifying certain suspicious entities?
thinking about all of the projects together, I think that we have examples in various different areas of how data science can make a difference.
The students that were part of the program have unbelievable technical skills in terms of all of the Stanford courses and the other experiences that they've had. But many of them haven't had the experience of working on a team with data scientists and working with a partnership organization. And when you do that, especially in a completely virtual world, you face new challenges.
And I think this ability to translate between problems and useful solutions is just incredibly important and just a very impressive aspect of all of the students who participated in this Summer of Data.